so much of this that I cannot share with the world. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wild Magic School Bus, the most unprofessional D&D podcast you will ever hear. I, of course, am your GM, Calvin Piper, and these fine folk play the game of D&D with me. Tonight's prompt players, as we go around the room and introduce ourselves.
How would you hold the microphone if you didn't have the tripod like you do?
How would you? I really like that. Yeah, how would you hold the microphone? So I would hold it like this, and I would always.
And it would be
picturing.
It would be way down here most of the time.
Never hear me when you could. It would be really annoying.
Which worked really well for when we were in quarantine and everyone was online.
Yeah, as long as you're really charismatic, you can get away with it. I really like how last week we talked about Freddie Mercury, and now you're doing this really weird version of his long mic stand thing.
Short stick Freddie is what I call it.
We didn't even get to what the question is.
Yeah, how would you hold your microphone if you had to? There it is. There's the question.
All right.
That's a bullshit question.
You got a better one?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
What I would do.
How dare you?
This week's question is come up with a question that's better than have a. What if you had to hold?
This week's question is I'm running out of time, so we got to make this quick.
I would do it like. I would hold my microphone like Voldemort holding a wand.
What if you held it like a phone?
Oh my gosh, it's so loud.
Can you say the boy who lives come
to die?
I don't like that pause.
He paused at the wrongest spot.
And yet that is where it is.
No, feedback, don't do that.
That's like the one.
They don't feedback with each other.
Yeah,
One time when I preached, I had to say the word Gatorade, and I said gay torade.
Hey, chat, what if we just held our mics the normal way so it would be like a decent sound?
Great idea.
It's in the chat.
Okay, but
Whatever
first,
that-
my name
haven't
is
said
Zach. I
anything
play
yet.
Kestis
I got this.
Thimbleweed.
That's Matt, that's Drew, that's Zach, that's Matt, that's Michelle, that's Will. This is episode 31.
You did a good
Wild
job.
Magic School Bus.
Yes. All right.
Zook,
Let's do
Magoo,
that
Mel,
for now
Turtle,
on.
level 6. Oh, wizards. Dang it.
Did you say alt wizard?
So the last time we were here, the adventurers had secured everything they needed to create the spell to
Stop
escape
right there.
the void.
Oh,
that's where we were.
That's where we are. We
And
had
so now we'll
everything
do
we
it.
needed,
And
and now we're gonna do our.
And
No, it's the weed thing all over again.
as Connie was securing some of the items that he collected after having a conversation with Caden, was ambushed, was attacked, his items stolen, and almost died, were it not for the deft reactions of his party members. A conversation was had, and a agreement was reached that if they're going to do this, they need to be better at planning, or whatever the conclusion was. I wasn't paying attention. And that is where we find ourselves tonight, with all of you gathering back into your respective living quarters. A full rest can be had at any point if you have hit points you need to restore, spell slots you need to get back. As
We should maybe
I would
keep
say,
a couple people awake through the night.
Sure. I would
sleeping
say
shifts.
within a few days will pass at this point, as everyone kind of lays low and kind of takes time. Unless there's something you would like to do specifically, I will say we'll give this a couple days of just kind of like laying low and waiting, planning your next move. In that time frame, is there anything specifically someone wants to be doing? Or we can just move on to the next time you reconvene to plan your next move.
What's the thread count up to? The sheets. You know? This is pretty good.
You're getting. I would say you are very close. I would say you feel like you've got quite a bit, and you're confident that you can't really stretch out and measure all of it, but you could be very close to having everything you need for the canvas.
Am I still on the swim team, or did I get demoted back to julienning the carrots?
I would say for the time being, no one seems to make notice of your change in jobs, and it seems to continue with the status quo.
Okay, two things I do over the next 4 days. I try out the catfish joke on everyone else on C shift.
Make a performance check.
Okay. 22.
It's hilarious.
Okay, cool. Second thing I do is every day I am looking for just any signs of squid anywhere. Or like
Absolutely.
if anyone has seen a squid lately, whereabouts is it?
Absolutely. I'll let you choose what kind of a check this is.
It's a persuasion check.
Okay.
21.
You spend the next 4 days beginning to look around, perceive as best you can during your swims, inquire as nonchalantly as you can about
as casually
squid.
bring up the
Yeah, as
conversation.
casually as you can.
Squid
There
pasta.
is one.
Delicious.
There is one time where you mentioned something about a squid, and one of the other divers who's like he's wrapping up some rope and kind of getting ready to end his shift says off in the corner, he's like, "Oh, don't get me started about squids again. If Roy hadn't been such fondness for them, we wouldn't have to worry about them anymore. We wouldn't even have to have them around. But Roy had to go off and be Roy."
I mean, in Roy's defense, some cultures view the presence of squid as good luck.
That's what he would say, and we would be like, "Roy, you're a madman. These squids will kill us." And he's like, "No, they're fine." And he was just, you know, he befriended one, right?
I haven't. Oh, wait, you talking about Roy or a squid?
Roy.
I haven't befriended Roy yet, but in my village, we knew of someone in an adjacent village that was a part of their culture, and I wonder if Roy's from around there.
Well, I have no fucking idea where Roy's from. Point is, he befriended a fucking squid, and so now every once in a while, if you're not careful, it'll sneak up on you while you're down there.
Right. Where is Roy still?
I don't know. Roy's on one of the other shifts.
Right. All right, cool. I mean, I don't know. I would appreciate some good luck, especially while we're dealing with reef hammers down here.
Squids aren't good luck, I'll tell you that right now.
Huh? Well, no, to each their own. I respect your culture, respect mine. It's fine.
Yeah. Just
All right.
walks
And
away
I'm going to
grumbling.
pass that information on to any of the guys that are on other dive shifts.
Sure. Easy enough to do.
There's a squid there.
Send message.
Wait, there's a squid where?
Can I do just sort of a handful of little things in
Of
these
course you may.
in between days? One,
Yeah.
with the knowledge that there's a squid that this person is friends with.
Oh, I found that out at the end of the 4th day.
Oh, dang.
Well, we can expand time a little bit further. I do want to say one more thing during this kind of 4-day period. I will say Wyatt, unfortunately, is the only one who can see this because he's got the highest perception of everybody. With your passive perception, Wyatt, you do notice every once in a while there is you will see Caden nearby, not right nearby, but within eyesight of you at some point. Maybe it may only be like once a day or maybe every other day, but you catch glimpses of him and like do the weird like lock eyes thing for a second, like when you do with people in the store that you don't know, or you know, just
Or you
any,
do
You think you might kiss?
or you do know, or I don't know, just but yeah, you
I mean, what?
you know that you are aware that he is keeping an eye on you or other people in your party. So, but that's just because you have a higher perception. So,
I don't really have a ton that I'm doing right now. So just out of sheer curiosity,
you can get a little closer to that.
I'm going to switch the roles, and I'm gonna try to kind of like get to a point where like I know he's not watching,
Sure.
and then I'm gonna track him
Okay.
and watch him watch the group.
Noticing him, noticing you, noticing.
Yes,
him noticing.
I'm just gonna watch him and
sure.
actually kind of more or less like follow him around for a little while and
Yeah.
see if
Go
I
ahead
can
and make an
figure out where he
active
goes.
perception check for me then. Actually, this would. Yeah, I'll say it's perception. Yeah, that's fine.
Active perception.
Sure, why not?
That's good.
Yeah.
Hello,
So that's gonna be a math.
Yeah.
20,
It's gonna be math.
20,
Right.
13 plus 9.
Oh, it's 13? It's a 19. I thought. Oh, no, my bad.
13.
It's 20.
It's a 22.
22.
That's a filthy 20.
Yeah, with a 22, yeah, you're very easily able to kind of keep tabs on him as he keeps tabs on other members of your party. It seems like in the few, the time that you do watch him, he doesn't seem to be doing anything. He's just watching actively. And then after 20, 30 minutes, he'll move on and do other things. But you do notice that he just kind of watches and keeps an eye and then moves on.
Okay. I'm just going to make that kind of like until somebody else seems to like need me specifically to be doing something right now. I'm just going to keep that as my like daily thing. They're setting it, or they're doing their setting out, doing the thing, and I'm just gonna kind of follow him.
Okay.
Whatever.
Can I maybe wander past where the builders are? Where there was chalk dust at one point?
Yeah, sure.
Just kind of peek through there.
Yeah, you move into a section of the prison where there looks to be about 6 or 7 of them working on repairing one of the portholes or something. Yeah, you can walk up to them.
Hello,
Or
it's your favorite.
nearby, unless you want to walk
Is there
into there.
any chalk nearby? Or
Make a perception check.
okay.
Perceive the thing.
16.
You glance at their building supplies, and as you're kind of looking over to it to see if you can see anything that was resembling the chalk that you had seen before, they have none. They seem to be using some sort of a wet paste that's made up of like, it looks like it could be like a vegetation of some kind, or like some sort of it's like a greenish black, and it's almost kind of slimy, and they're using it as they would put stones in place and then use that to like patch over it or on the sides of it, almost like a glue. They are not using any kind of a powder
There's no chalk.
there is
to be
none.
found. That son of a bitch. All right. Hello's your favorite entertainer. I'm leaving now. Goodbye. Have fun.
They kind of look in your direction as you talk, and then as you leave, they're just kind of shrug and go back go back to their job.
Diving team. I've had a thought. There's no chalk to be found. They've made it scarce. And I think that's because of us. She looks around. Where's Kate?
You're fine.
All right. I'm scared. I had a thought, though, just here recently, and maybe my druid friend can confirm or deny whether or not that would work. But are there any coral reefs down there that are like dead coral?
So you're thinking like maybe, yeah, coral would count as rock,
Like
and we could grind it up and. I mean, yeah.
Have you seen any of that down there?
I'm assuming we have. I mean,
Seems-
that's what is under.
I mean, yeah, there's rock. When you're hunting for the obsidian coral, there's definitely rock all over the place. And you and Barrios did see, I mean, you were at our shipwreck where a reef, I mean,
Like on the
it-
shipwreck.
a
Are
reef
there
is a
any-
strong term because reefs are in shallow waters.
Sure.
But there's definitely like life down there in like a deep water reef, which was much scarier than it's probably not as scary as I'm envisioning it, but yeah,
Or there's got to be
paler,
plenty of
for
shells
sure.
down there, right? Maybe that could be ground in a fine enough
Yeah,
powder.
there's rocks and shells. Yeah, we could probably get some of that.
Because what is chalk if not calcium? What are shells if
I
not
mean,
calcium?
Sure.
It's all chalk. We're all chalk at the end of the
yeah.
day.
Not calcium. Sorry.
You're right.
I think I explained this.
What are we if not our bones?
And if not
Well,
calcium.
To that point, why don't we just take
I
someone's
don't.
bones?
No.
What?
Wow. No.
Oh, yes. Oh, I did
No.
see a bone pile. Is there a bone pile around here?
You mean to tell me the world wouldn't be better off without Cindy Lauper?
Listen, I just want to let you know rocks are not bones. I'm just going to interject that right now.
And, yeah,
Let's
are
go
we-
back to the getting rock out of the ocean.
Are we
any
looking
rock
for
shivs?
chalk or are we looking for rock dust?
Rock dust,
what does the note say?
Stone powder
stone powder.
from the builders.
So it does have to be stone, I presume?
Does it explicitly say from the builders?
Question mark.
That's what he
Stone
wrote down.
powders
That
from
seems
the
like a
stone
place
powder
we could
from
get
the
at.
builders?
So
Question mark.
what if-
Chalk? Question
What
mark.
if we reframed our perspective and operated under the presumption that we know where to get it, we just aren't yet sure how to get it?
Question: does anyone know what the use of the chalk in the incantation in the circle actually is?
Assuming to make the writing on the ground.
Yeah, Zook, what's that about?
Or on the.
Zook, master of the arcane arts.
22.
22.
And also, what's the ink for?
With the 22, you have spent quite a bit of time kind of studying the layout of this spell and kind of trying to figure out how to piece it all together. You're still not quite sure what the intended way to do this spell is. Like, you're not able to connect the dots of like how this spell creates this effect, but you are pretty aware of how components work and how spells are created. You know that the ink is probably used to draw the sigils on the ground, and the powder seems like if it's combined with the gems, which also need to be powderized, could create almost like a something to mix in with at certain points to create a paintable like material. Like it could be sprinkled on the ink to create an effect. It could be ground with the ink and the gems to create some sort of a glittering
Like a
paint of
paste.
some kind or a paste of some kind. But you know that most people who use spells that require drawing something out, usually the materials are used in creating the sigil itself. So however that rock's powder is to be used, it's going to be to add to whatever the gemstones and the ink are a part of.
You basically gotta crush and combine all the items and use it to draw the sigil.
What do we know about improvisational components and spells?
Well, here's the other question: is how fine does something have to be a powder? It's because all we're looking for is little bits of stone.
We're
And
not
we have
going.
we have an ocean floor covered in sand.
You know, I said that when we first got here, and everyone jumped down my throat for mentioning sand and saying how sand is not rock powder, but we've gotten
Connie,
back
we would
to
never
it.
treat you like that. Everybody, let's guess.
Connie, I think you're remembering things wrong. You did just get stabbed the other day.
That
and
was
you
your
died.
mother
I
who
don't
told
think-
you
I don't
that.
think that happened.
We said we love visiting the.
Connie, you sound crazy.
Connie's gonna go back to his corner where he's been just like silently recovering and going over like everything I've ever known has been a
Yeah,
lie.
just going back and
I feel like
rocking in the
Connie's been
corner.
doing nothing but crunches.
Maybe-
Maybe he thinks if he had a stronger core, he wouldn't have gotten stabbed.
Oh no, he's totally working
Can't
out
get
the
that knife
entire.
between his
Yeah, the entire
Good
time.
luck.
The
Good
entire
luck.
time he is milling over all of this and doubting himself. He's still working out, so he's gonna come out of it like
Every halfling left in the
Level
prison.
So
He's like,
you're-
go ahead,
Seven.
stab me, stab me.
You're
halfling."
exhausted then.
yeah. So at the end of this episode, he is level 7 at
Oh.
least.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's cool. All the
great.
stabbing did it.
It's a really great theory. I
We all
love that. Love
took
that
turns
for you.
holding your feet for your crunches, so we're all level 7 as well.
Yeah, everybody else also level
Everyone else gets it because they were
because we were in the room
know
while
what?
you're doing
We were there.
crunches.
You know what?
shared XP, man.
Connie has zero faith in himself and is not gonna.
Guys,
act
I
in the-
genuinely thought we were at level 7 right then. I was like, what are these dummies talking about? And then I looked down and it says level 6.
Yeah, I mean, XP based leveling, Connie is killing his fitness goals.
That's
And
true.
we're killing it as his accountability partners.
over a couple of days here,
Yeah.
swimming and such, looking for coral.
Yep.
Can I do a couple of things underwater?
You most certainly can.
One,
Flip.
yeah, one front flip.
turn into a guppy.
Two,
You have to hold your nose when you do it, but I think it's possible.
I don't think a shark has to.
Oh,
I'm
then
gonna
yeah,
do a
you're
reef
fine.
shark front flip.
Oh, a shark doing a flip?
Seems
Yeah,
pretty-
it's
Seems pretty
okay.
cool.
Getting upside down. Once you're
Animal-
upside down,
animal
it's
handling
good.
check for
It
yourself.
goes catatonic.
What's that?
If a tiger shark goes vertical, it goes catatonic.
That's what I was saying. It's like once they get to a certain
sharks
position.
do go basically unconscious for as long as they're upside down. That
Yeah,
is
that's what I was saying. Once you get to the upside down point, you
you
just
got to do
float
it
for a
fast.
while.
You have to give it momentum.
Really, all you have to do is flip a shark.
All you got to do is flip a shark upside down.
What a
know how I
terrifyingly
feel about
exhilarating
bullshit.
moment where it's like, I'm doing it, blackout. I'm good.
So,
Did I do it?
so while I'm down there, one pocket full of sand, just
As a shark.
well, you know, an amount of sand
A mouthful
because I'm gonna
of sand.
swim back up
Mouthful of-
as a
mouthful of
as a as a little as a boy.
This goes back as
Mouthful of sand.
I don't have to be a shark to swim around. It's just much easier.
It's much easier.
So
Yes,
I'll
it's
do all of
fine.
my searching
It's
as a
fine.
shark,
It's fine.
and then
yeah. No, you're good.
so I'm gonna get myself just like a little vest pocket full of sand.
It feels the
Um,
same weight as Lawrence.
I miss him.
No,
Where-
Lawrence.
oh yes, I gave him to Will. That's right. I was like, wait, where is he?
Still not here.
Dan.
I get a pocket full of sand. I want to see if one of those days I can just get a little chunk of obsidian coral for myself. You know, get my quota and then a little chunk that I can.
Hide in your
Stick in a
gums.
pocket?
Oh yeah.
I'm
In
going,
my sand pocket.
I'm going to ask for a sleight of hand check on this one.
Absolutely. I would love
Just
to do that
specifically
for you.
because that sand, easy. Obsidian coral,
Of course.
the one thing that keeps you alive down here.
Of course.
I mean, air keeps me alive, and it's easy.
That is a 21. I'm tempted to add to it.
Do you want to add to it?
Add
Should
to
he
it.
add-
I'm gonna add one knack for it die. These days aren't real. I'm gonna add both of my knack for it die for this
These
day.
days aren't
Sure,
real.
how many days have we not used them?
That's a 28.
Oh boy.
Okay. I add a +5 to my perception. Do you want to tell him what that was?
I
Uh-oh.
can't tell from over here. Is it nat 20? I can't read that color.
I can read it from over here.
It's an
What's
18.
wrong with your eyes?
So had you not rolled,
Ooh.
would have noticed.
Now we're on.
Well
That's my
done.
girl.
Almost got me in the face.
Well done.
So
Days
Now
aren't
I'm
real. That's
scared.
what we've learned.
little chunk of obsidian coral, and like these can be spread out over the 4 days. One
For
day
sure.
is sand day. One day is
For
coral
sure,
day.
yeah.
And then one day, as a shark, I want to go on a squid hunt with the advice given to me by Botrios and his guidance towards of maybe friendly squid.
Like who?
Yeah.
All I want to do is find a squid.
Okay.
I just need to see one.
Make a. I say survival or nature. Your choice.
Ooh, I forgot I was good at survival. And this is on a different day than the obsidian
Excuse you.
coral,
Good call. Good call.
which makes it a 17.
17. As you are exploring the ocean, you don't really see. You're not able to find any squids out here.
Freaking squids!
The depth is to the point where anything that is alive is either higher up or much lower. And just kind of as you're searching, you don't really see any squids in the area that you can search during your time.
Can I? I've never tried this before.
Yeah.
There are squids in the void somewhere, right? Like we
There
eat
was.
them occasionally.
There was when Connie got the squidding.
Can can I try to like get? Can I? I don't even know how to ask this question. Can I talk to someone who works in the kitchen
For sure.
about just seeing what
Yeah, you
things are like
absolutely
back
can.
there?
You absolutely can.
I just want to see if you know, being underwater gets difficult. You know, I got hooves. I'm starting to notice in the hooves. They're getting a little bit soft. I think might be good to not be soaking them quite so much. I try not to get them wet.
Hey,
usually when we're on
salt
land.
water's bad for the it gets in there and you
for everything.
well, for fingernails for her. I have fingernails in 6 years from all the sultans and the sultans everywhere.
I think I need to maybe stay out of the water for a little bit. And my friend Barrios was telling me that I might be okay at kitchen doings.
Oh, you working up here in the kitchens with us then?
If there's a spot for
For
me.
sure, for sure. We could always use the help.
I don't know if you need anything mashed or something like that.
Oh, sick.
You know, just with your pliable hooves, we might be able to make something work with that.
God, the fastest,
The
worst mashed
funkiest,
potatoes.
Yeah.
Just
little
like
extra cheese
lightning
in
speed
there.
mashed potatoes. Okay, and then in the kitchen,
Yeah.
Are there any? Here's 3 things.
Yeah, go for it.
Now that I've done 3 other things, here's 3 more things.
Yeah, go
In
for
the
it.
kitchen, are there any? 1, squids that need to be processed.
Okay.
2, drinking water that is corked in any way, or any other liquid that is corked.
Sure.
And anything sort of like hay or straw-like. Any wheat?
Make a. This is going to be an investigation check.
Of course.
I will say, before you roll, you can either roll 1 time for all 3, or roll each of them for each item. Choice is yours.
Let's roll them individually.
All right. So the first one is
This is for
your call.
this is for cork. I
This
think
one's
maybe
for
maybe
you,
we get a
Cork.
bad one out of the way.
Sure.
I was right. That is a 7.
With a 7.
How do we drink water down
So
here?
most of the water that is found in here is natural. Is water that is coming from the rock itself. That's the void is built out of, and most of it collects in basins and is then usually people like scoop it out with. They take their tin mug and they scoop it out, or they take their little wooden, whatever it is, and they scoop those things out.
Okay.
So there's not much cork that you can find at this time.
That's fine. Squid.
Squid.
Oh,
He's about to die.
With a 6, we'll get back to that one. Go ahead and roll the last one.
And just something straw.
And I'm glad you
Straw-like.
didn't use your knack for it on something
My
silly.
lord, that is a 1 minus 1.
Oh, geez.
It's a 0.
Yeah,
There is not
no,
anything.
Not any straw that you can find. In your kind of perusing for squid, you do. Somebody does one of the
90s. That was a
workers.
90s alternative band, I think, right?
One of the
Perusing for squid.
That's a band name.
Right at their
one of
bowl
the
pursuit.
workers does. One of the workers is like, we did have squid at one point, but yeah, there was something about it wasn't. Well, it was bad. Something bad happened. They put a kibosh on any school. We're not allowed to have any
It's a
more.
bad enough roll that we're never going to have squid again.
For the time they told us we were not serving it for a while. It must be a contamination or something, but they're not letting us use it for anything at this point. So
I hate when that happens.
I mean, Roy's happy about it, but not much else. So
Who's Roy?
oh, Roy's one of the prisoners here. He has a thing about the squids. He befriended one and thinks that they're intelligent or something. So he's pretty. He's
Well, squids are pretty smart
This place seems to really.
compared to
Sure.
compared to most fish,
Guy
at
named
least.
Roy.
sure if you think if you like him, I guess. But anyhow, point is that Roy was a big advocate of telling us, oh, we should
Sort of
eat
a
the squid.
fisher friends, not food type.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it
I've met a
was-
couple of those.
Once they told us that we weren't allowed to serve it, he would gloat every once in a while. So that's just, I mean, yeah, small battles, I guess.
The
But
one positive
Well,
change
that makes sense.
here.
Go back to
you're
the
doing a
mashed
great job,
potatoes.
lad.
Thanks, I'm working really hard.
Is that how you mash potatoes?
Yeah, hooves. Just 2 hooves.
That's what it sounds like.
File a mental note to go talk to Roy.
Okay. Anyone else doing
I've
anything
done too
in
many
this time frame?
things.
Yes.
Yes.
I think I'll go see my good buddy Kofi.
Okay.
The blind guy, right?
Yeah.
Blind Druid.
You make your way down to the lower levels where Kofi resides. You head to his chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is quiet, and you can see sitting, legs crossed, hands resting on 2 corners. He's in a corner of the room, and both hands are resting on like some sort of fungus or some sort of algae that is just kind of growing on the walls, and it kind of gives this little glow and kind of ripples out as his hands are on it. His eyes are open but clouded as he just kind of stares forward. And as you approach, you see he turns his head in your directions.
Well, hello, my good friend. I'm sure the fungus told you I was coming.
He did mention it, yes.
Well, no sneaking up on you, is there?
What can I do for you?
Well, Kofi, the last time we talked, you told me some good advice. And said, hey, keep your mouth shut. Well, some of us didn't keep our mouths shut too good. And so now some of the key components we are looking for have become quite scarce down here. You're not a snitch, right?
Maybe lead with that.
I suppose it is too late to ask that sort of question now, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so. But you seem pretty trustworthy. I like the cut of your jib, so...
You have only known me
Not talking
for...
about people's jibs.
You have only known me for a short amount of time.
And so
You
far...
would not have liked me when I was younger.
Ah, but you're not younger.
And not much wiser, it seems.
I did have a question, and potentially a favour to ask, if you're so willing. I have a friend who's kind of like you, can change into animals and such, and we need squid ink, which has been very scarce here, and I think he's been trying to transform into one maybe, or get the components to do it, but he's having 0 luck. Could you turn yourself into a squid and give us some ink? Bioluminescent would be best.
Right.
Oh wait, you can only turn into things that you've seen. How does that work?
He turns into a giraffe and says, "Look, I'm a horse."
All of his animals are just kind of fucked up.
They all blend together after a
The
while.
answer is simpler than you would think.
It's a no, isn't it?
I do not change shape.
No! That's dreadful. Both for your purposes and for mine.
It is a burden I bear, along with many others.
What if you could just do it by feel? That would be interesting.
It would make things much simpler.
Alright, well I guess that's all I really had to ask you. Also, how are you doing? You doing well? You look healthy.
Good save.
I am fine.
Alright, well mashed potatoes are on the menu and Kestis has been hard at work. They're going to be smoother than you've ever had them before. So,
From somewhere you hear the echoes of do 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 do.
Echoing louder than Connie's screams for help.
That
God,
is
this
what
mashed
I
potatoes
keep
gonna be
hearing.
awesome.
the mold probably told you. There's mold in the potatoes too, isn't there?
It is good to hear from you now.
Thank you. It's good to hear from you too.
Was that what it was like flirting with him when you were first seeing each other?
Yeah, Calvin wouldn't ever make eye contact. He was afraid of her.
Uh-huh. He pretended to be blind for a while.
When I
She'd be
fell
like,
into the pit of
You want
acid,
you want to
eyes
you want to hold?
first.
Hey, you want to hold my hand? No.
good to hear from
No. I've never done that.
I
What?
could do a great impression of a squid.
It's Calvin turned into an octopus.
Oh,
He's very talented.
I mean, to her benefit, I
Hands
did
all
have
over.
I did date before her, so I knew kind of how it worked.
He knew how to turn into an octopus.
I did not
what?
serve
When?
doctors. We'll talk about it later.
All those 10.
Oh my.
The dexterity.
Any,
I suppose you don't know anybody who could help us.
Man, they're all alike. 8 hands. Oh.
None of them. Never mind.
he just kind of sits there and slowly shakes his head and says,
I am sorry I cannot be more help.
Damn, it was worth a shot. Hey, does he like me? Are we friends?
"Who?
Kofi.
Make an insight check."
And that's what their first date ended like. Do you like me? Are we friends?
It's
Is
a
this working?
It's a 5.
Hard to tell.
He hates you.
Oh god.
His eyes are unreadable.
Wow, Calvin. You feel good about that?
Yeah, he's my character. I made him blind. I feel great about it. I can make him not blind if
And
I
he's
choose.
cool.
Very easy to do.
All right, well, I'll leave you to whatever it is that you do with your hands on the wall.
Reading.
What do you do with your
Peeping.
hands on the wall?
Commune with nature.
Oh, send a couple squids up the water hole, please. Just have them flop up there if you could.
That's not how that works.
Damn.
I mean, their entire first date was Michelle throwing out ideas. And it doesn't work that way. That's,
All right. Well, if you happen to come across one, just
Bowling. That's not how that works. Mini golf. That is not how that works.
It does not work.
Movie. Unfortunately, that is not how that works.
How will we have conversation in cold dark room?
Calvin, can you stop speaking in that weird accent? No, that is not how that works.
You will eat bread. We go to Olive Garden.
Okay.
I'll leave.
Anyone else? Anyone else want to do anything as the days go on?
2 for 20. Inflation not hit yet. I've got nothing. I did my thing.
Anything? Okay.
I think so.
I did my
Anyone?
best.
Mats, what do we got going
Mats, you guys want to do anything?
Did I understand what he was trying to communicate about this guy, Roy? I mean, it's been... Right? You told us about Roy.
Yeah, his acting skills need work. He hasn't been able to commune with the moon in a long time. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I mean, you get the
Eventually,
gist that...
you really quietly told us.
Yeah, that Roy is the guy to seek out.
Roy's got a
on
squid connection.
Yeah. If you're on Roy's shift, which is not shift A right now.
We just gotta get on a shift list, is what you're saying.
So Connie's going to keep his head down after
Okay.
all this shit.
Yeah.
But if no one's having any luck, he will, in his sneakiest fashion ever, try to get in touch with Roy. Like, pass without trace.
Yeah.
So he
Shadow
asked about-
step his butt
Yeah,
over
so-
there. Does not want to be seen by anyone.
Throwing
not
features
wrong.
and traits out into the wind, being like,
Yeah.
hope these all make it work.
As soon as he says the name Roy,
Mm-hmm.
he smells burlap again and gets stabbed by a poop knife.
100%.
Okay, gotcha. You got this, buddy.
Okay, so you begin
That
to...
foot outside.
I would say... Let's start off with... we'll start with a stealth check.
Oh, poor
For him?
For him, yes.
You're doing this again by yourself?
You're watching Caden for some reason. You're more than welcome to jump in and help him if you want.
Well, Caden can't sneak up and stab him if you're also watching Caden.
That's true.
Yeah, but Caden's also not a halfling.
Well, yeah, but the halfling's dead. We don't have to worry about that guy.
Oh yeah, because there's only one halfling in all of 5e.
And also, there's only halflings are allowed to stab.
Well,
Bold of you to assume it was the halfling that did it.
Cool.
I mean,
this is how genocide starts.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Connie gets out and instantly is like, kill all the halflings.
Kill the halflings.
Basically Sauron.
Yeah.
Raise the village.
I mean, is Caden right now watching
Nope.
the group?
Nope. It's
Caden gives me, like-
it's few and far between. So you are more than welcome to do other things.
Okay.
35.
Cade makes me think of Common from Silo.
35.
35.
How?
A little bit, yeah.
15 plus 10 with pass without a trace.
Ah,
plus
there it
another
is.
10.
35.
So plus 20.
35. All right. You make your way to the docks, searching for the next couple days, kind of keeping your eyes on the shifts and stuff like that. And there is, at one point, you do see an individual who people do call Roy. At one point, he seems like he is an older humanoid. He looks like he might have a little bit of dwarf blood in him because he has, while his hair is thinning and kind of gray up here, he still has a full black beard that is not gray at all.
It's like the opposite of me.
Yeah, it's crazy. But he's not a big person. But he seems like he's middle age plus. He's a little wiry, but he's not. He seems like he's a good natured fella for the most part. Keeps to himself. But people address him as Roy, and he kind of waves to him and goes about his day. Yeah. But yeah, you can see him, and you now recognize him. So at any point, if you wish to approach him, you're more than welcome to.
I'd love to approach him when we're
Okay.
someplace quiet.
Very
and
easy to do.
unseen.
Yeah. So how do you broach him?
I think I just be where he's gonna walk by.
Yeah. He walks by one of the cells that you're standing by, and just is going on his merry way.
Hey there, Roy.
Yeah.
It's Roy, right?
Yeah, you know my name.
Oh, I've heard other people say, "Hey, Roy," when they pass you.
Yeah.
You're Roy, right?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm Connie. Good
Yeah.
to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, Connie.
I mean, I've heard nice things about you.
What kind of things?
That you befriended
What are they
this-
telling you?
well, really only the one thing, that you befriended a squid, and now everyone respects you enough not to harvest squid anymore.
I know that's a gosh darn lie. Everyone hates me for it. They think that, oh, I befriended a squid, and now they're going to draw more. I'm telling you, Squimshy knows that he needs to stay far enough away to not cause problems. He just likes to hang out.
Well, I don't think, I mean, honestly, everyone I've talked to has said that they don't go after squid because you have kind of protection over them.
Really? Supposed to tell me I'm crazy and that I should probably tell the squid to bugger off.
Well, I mean, that they may say that too, but they're not harvesting squid.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They did tell us something about contamination, but I talked to Squimshy and he said nothing about there being a contamination in the water.
No, I've heard this just like a cover story for we just don't want to upset Roy.
Make a deception check for me.
We just don't want to upset Roy.
No. Okay, that's Drew's understanding of this situation.
That is not Connie's understanding of the situation. No one has ever told you that it was a cover story for Roy.
Okay.
This is the part where the whole party turns on Connie. And it's all been a ruse.
Oh my God.
Over a squid.
Bingo, we all got out of prison by turning you over to the squid.
16.
He watches you for a second and goes, yeah, I guess it makes sense. No reason to question it. It's awfully nice of him, I suppose. There's not much meat on squid anyway. Most of it's just like the gummy stuff, and it's not really that good.
Have you... Okay, I'm not going to ask how you know that, or if that's just...
The Squimshy told me.
Oh, okay.
He's pulling pretzels out of that pencil bag, and it's weirding me out.
Pretzels from a pencil pouch.
Fun fact, that is actually a reusable plastic bag, so he is for the environment, even though he did leave my freezer open.
Yeah, it's a
Bitch!
Hey, you still left my freezer open, all right? Are you giving you a little bit of grace?
Yeah.
Little bit of grace.
Weren't you in the Gulf of Mexico in the 90s and early 2000s?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
what
not
else?
for the whole thing. I wasn't in there the whole time, otherwise I would be...
You planted flowers in Antarctica to bloom, didn't you?
Oh, I love flowers more than I love polar bears.
You're right there, buddy. You're staring off into space for some reason.
Oh, yeah. I was just wondering, the reason I was asking people about squid is I was wondering if I could get a hold of some squid ink, preferably the bioluminescent kind.
Why?
To make glow-in-the-dark lettuce.
Lettuce.
You know, like on my cell wall, I thought it would be like a new thing, kind of like brighten things up.
This is also going to be...
I just did one.
You're going to have to do another one, because this is for a totally different lie. This is also deception.
And Nell is there to also do deception.
You do have Nell's inspiration.
What's that?
You have a D8.
Oh, a D8?
It's a D8 now.
Dang.
Yeah, dude.
Just roll one.
This is Al Gore's revenge.
You also have knack for trying to help you, buddy.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. It's a new day.
Oh, it's a new day.
It's a new dawn. It's a new day.
It's a new life.
For Squiddy.
17.
A 17. Yeah, I mean, you only needed a 13. That's fine.
13. And then I still have a 4. Great.
No,
You have 4 you can bank
used them
for the
all.
next check that you need to make.
Was it just it was like, I rolled a 20 earlier? No, you can't use
Yeah,
that.
it's like, cool. I'm going to hold on to these rolls for later.
Oh, so, real quick sidebar. One of the characters in our other campaign had gone to death saving throws, and we got out of combat, and he kept rolling and said, I'm alive. He's like, how? He's like, well, we're out of combat. He goes, I didn't tell you we were out of combat. He's like, well, we were done fighting, so I assume I just roll. He's like, you can't do that.
It was like how you are with rules. He was with dice. I was like, dude, that's not how that works.
I'm going to try that.
That was pretty great.
Bank a couple nat
Rolling the
20s.
D20. He's like, hey, I got a 20. I'll save it for later.
But you have to roll them before you set them aside.
Oh,
He actually did it.
I know you rolled a D20, and I'm proud of you, but no. You can't bank it for later.
Natural 20 right there. That's wild, and it's for nothing.
Save it for later.
No reason.
No, because
Bank
you
it.
said 20 and I rolled a 20.
Yeah.
I'm
What does that mean?
I'll
the
do it
DM
too.
now. Yeah, I'm the
You
DM.
want to run this campaign? Be my guest.
Let me tell you, we would have gotten a lot more different kind of weed
Okay.
throughout this game.
Okay, ready? I am.
Crazy weed.
You are Connie now. I am the DM. Ready? Go. What's happening?
We're out.
You're asking
If you're the
I'm
DM,
playing.
No, what are you doing,
You
Connie?
have to decide.
What
What
is
do you
Connie
mean what's
doing? We were right in the middle of Connie doing
I was
some
having a
stuff.
conversation with Roy.
Yeah. So
And now
Roy
it's Roy's
believed
turn to
you.
talk.
Roy believed you.
And so
Yeah.
he
All right,
says,
and we pick up the
Yeah,
scene.
I wanted it to
now.
paint. I wanted it to paint.
Yeah.
I wanted it to paint everything.
Oh, how does Roy talk?
How does Roy talk, DM?
you were just talking.
Yeah,
to
what does Roy sound like? DM,
The
what does Roy...
last it's the last
Yeah.
voice Calvin
Roy,
just
what
did.
what facial expression does Roy make?
Where? Yes, my
He's
squid.
not blind.
Yeah.
My squid does make. my squid does make glow in the dark ink, and here is some. I keep some with me all the time. Never occurred to me to make letters on the ceiling with it, but go ahead and have fun.
You look up and in the ceiling of Roy's cell, it's glowing stars. It's got little kid's bedroom stars.
We
on the
can't
ceiling.
do 2
That's neat.
episodes,
You
guys.
gave Roy like a kind of
I mean, it's 9 o'clock
holier
right
than
now.
thou bauble that he didn't have before.
At least I've done 2 now.
That is
so it
just what
means
I
that
do for
actually
Calvin.
have them now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, when I'm embodying Calvin, I'm like, fuck off you.
That's Calvin's
suck.
head, not Roy's.
I'm better because I'm the DM. That's
Some people say that when he DMs, he has like a Squilliam kind of face. Have you thought about that before?
William Fancyson?
Yeah, Squilliam fancy.
so.
I like
Yes.
that
Right.
we
Go
experience
ahead,
this as like
here's
3
your
hours of
squiddy.
real time, but I do like that what happens in the release schedule is we do one good episode and then one
And one
chaotic
really
episode,
bad
and then
episode.
one
That's
good
usually how it
episode and then
goes.
one bad episode.
Yeah. That or it's one really long, really good bad episode.
I think had we not broken it up and Drew and I went to the couch to relax, we probably would have stayed tight in the pocket and been really professional.
Wow.
Yeah, because you guys would have
That's
fallen asleep and the rest of us would have gotten some
Yeah.
content out there.
not on me for that. So, all right, back to the conversation. You want Squidding to paint your walls?
Yeah, decorate things.
Yeah, I suppose it could be kind of dreary in here.
Anything to improve morale, right?
See, problem is though is that I can't just give it to you because it's not mine. It's Squimshy's.
Sure.
He can do what he wants with it. So you'd have to talk to Squimshy to ask him yourself.
You've got a friend
Yeah,
who could
great. If
actually
you'd
talk
like to make an
Squishy.
introduction, I'd love to talk to him.
You have a
Sure.
friend
I mean, yeah. Are you a diver or what's your job down here?
I am a diver, but better than that, I got a friend who can turn into other critters. So actually, once he saw Squimsy, he could turn into
Squimshy.
Say it again.
Get his
Squimshy.
name. He's my squid.
Squimshy.
See.
Squid Rock was right there.
Squimshy.
She.
Squimshy.
Her.
Squimshy.
Like kimchi, but squimchy.
Squimshy.
Yeah.
Squimshy.
Squimshy.
Oh, okay. So my friend, when he sees Squimshy, could turn into a squid, and then they could talk.
Well, I talk to Squimshy. I don't turn into a squid.
Well, I mean, would I be able to understand Squimshy talking?
Can you speak to squid?
My friend can. I can't.
Well, we'll have to figure that out because, I mean, I can introduce you, but I'd also need to know who your friend is so I can introduce your friend. I mean, I can't just be
Well, could
bringing
we-
people to Squimshy's presence without
Could-
asking for explicit.
My friend's a diver, too. Could we meet you down at the swim hole?
Sure, next time Squimshy's around.
When do you think that'll be?
I can-
Squimshy?
Vernal equinox.
I can...
In 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Tell you what, friend. I'll put it out there that I want to talk to Squimshy again, and you and your friend can join us, and if Squimshy likes you, we'll broach the subject of the ink. But if Squimshy doesn't like you, they don't have to give it to you, and that's their right.
You're absolutely right, and I wouldn't even think about wanting it anymore. I would change my mind and decide I wanted something completely else because it
That's
was
just-
their right not to give it to me.
That's the spirit. You'll find it understanding what we have been sorely lacking about squids. They're just like you and me.
They're just the people, just like us.
They're just little 8-legged, squishy versions of us.
Squids have lots more
The
legs than.
fact-checking
Hey,
bar
what
over
the?
here is like,
No,
oh,
it's fine.
hold on.
Yeah, fantasy squid, 8 legs.
No, Squimshy's real. She's not a fantasy.
No,
They have 10.
at least.
It's 2 arms and 8 legs.
I believe it would be 2 tentacles.
No, 2 arms, 8
8
legs.
arms and 2
I-
tentacles.
There-
No,
arms and
I've
legs.
spoken to Squimshy. It's 2 arms. Who are all you people? What are you doing here?
Hello.
Ah!
8
arms.
Okay,
Hey,
8
fun
legs.
fact: the kraken is actually a giant octopus, not a squid.
Fun
Octopus,
fact: no
no
one's actually
tentacles.
really sure what the Kraken is. There are multiple origin options.
Actually, the Titans. It's a giant lizard.
Let me run this by you. Fun fact. I don't know that we could say confidently what the Kraken is with any amount of assurance, as it is nothing.
Oh, hey,
One of the
it
theories
is
about
a
it is that it's a
myth.
giant like monster that has the body and head of a man and 8
That's a
legs
sphinx.
that are each dogs.
Oh,
The legs are dogs,
squid
or
are
they are
way
dogs?
more capable of healing than we
It's
are. They have
dogs.
3 hearts.
The legs.
What? They have 3 hearts?
Yeah, they have 3 hearts. Also, they reproduce sexually.
Hell yeah.
And I'm sorry, I said
Wait,
what I
what?
said really confidently, but I said it in that like way that white men do, where it's like this is fat.
Their legs
and I
are
know it,
dogs?
but it wasn't.
That's
I was like, what does that even
So-
mean? Their
What was
legs
the
are
number
dogs.
about it? No, that's what I mean. That part I heard was real, but like also it's like someone else tells you that.
Sure.
So
So Squimshy
and then you say it
has
like
8
it's real.
arms and 2 tentacles.
2
2 arms, 8
arms,
legs.
8 legs.
8 arms.
Squimshy
and 2 tentacles.
said-
We're gonna
Nice.
discover that this squid
Squimshy.
is like a little meat puppet that he's made in the corner, and it
Hi,
has
man.
2
Oh, hi,
arms
Squimshy.
and 8 legs.
Not gonna lie, it did cross my mind at one point.
Oh no!
He's been making it out of chicken parts that we get for
But
dinner.
nevertheless, you have secured a meeting with Roy and Squimshy to see if you can get some ink. And
That's great.
yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Was that it?
And now say thank you to Roy.
I was just gonna add. I can tell that you're about to say, and that's where we're gonna.
well, no,
leave
if you want to do something, you can.
No, I
do
can
whatever you
say it
wanna do.
afterwards.
After the show's over.
That might be the perfect time to say whatever he's about to say.
Anyone
You already
notice that
have.
nobody got inspiration in the past 2 episodes?
It's because we haven't been very funny.
That's not true.
Damn.
If we were better
Yeah.
at Dungeons and
And on
Dragons.
that note, it's been great. Thanks so much for joining us today.
And
This has
thank
been-
you for listening and watching
Yeah.
or something.
This has been Calvin Piper and us.
And his 2
Oh,
arms.
that's right. He is the DM now, so he can do that.
This has been Calvin Piper and us.
Calvin Piper S. That's what I should have named this podcast.
Band
should have
name.
been this podcast name.
I'll put it down.
But until next time, we'll leave it at that. With the next phase of this saga being you guys meeting Squimshy, the intelligent squid. We'll see what happens. You're getting closer
Hold on, don't end yet.
to. Don't know what's going on, but I'm here for the energy. Until we reach that point, thank you all so much for
No,
playing.
don't
Thank
end
you all
yet.
so
Don't
much for
end.
watching.
I'm trying to get one for next week.
For next week,
Yeah.
Just power
An
through. Just
inspiration?
get us to the end of the
Jesus.
episode.
More at a time.
No, it has to be this one.
Will,
Thank you all so
Drew,
much
stall
for
for
playing.
time. Stall for time. Drew, stall for time. Stall for
thank you
time.
all so much for watching and listening.
Louise.
This is
Calvin,
the
I didn't
Moav
know
Night
you
Calvin,
School
spoiled
Bus.
these
no,
things.
no, mutiny!
Calvin,
I declare mutiny!
Calvin, why don't you tell us about Star Wars and your favorite Star Wars mythologies?
Good night, everybody.
There's no 20s on these.
Night, sweet baby.
The 19-sided die.
Jesus.
I got a 19-sided die. What's going on here?
No joke. I still have gotten none.
I want to see that. I want to see how those takes.
What's the
One.
freaking deal with these dice?
You got one?
They don't got
One.
no 20s
Yeah,
on
I
it.
probably rolled 100 dice.
You've been rolling dice for a long time over there.
And got 120.
Yeah,
What were you
go ahead,
try-
say shit, Calvin, because that's coming out next week, right
were-
at your face.
Whenever he needs it.
Shit's
Hey,
coming
remember
out of my
a week ago?
face.
That's when it's coming right on his face.
So,
Unplug me.
Zach, just so you know, very early in episode 2, I said, that's my girl, and Drew looked at your shirt, and instantly made a face that Michelle goes, "Oh my god, you're squilly and fancy, son."
Yeah.
And that was the next 20 minutes.
No,
That's
I
what
said he
killed
was
it.
handsome Squidward.
Handsome Squidward.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's not squilly.
Which I then looked up and started trying to make the face really hard until Will said,
saw
"I
that
think
was
he's
happening."
about to die."
I'm sorry, Calvin. We tried.
That was awesome.
We
I'm
didn't-
not sorry.
We didn't try good, but we tried.
Whoa, whoa,
I can't be allowed to roll. We tried. Wizards in
What
their
if they were
ranks specifically.
alternative wizards?
Yeah.
So they were like
the
e-girls.
music.
Like what?
Yeah,
E-girls?
anime wizards.
I heard something
Yeah.
different.
Ew, those wizards.
Whisper what
No.
You know how
No.
many guilds in Guild Wars 2 use the tag "you"? It's just a bunch of neckbeard bitches.
Everybody, give us your
I
best.
could have
Hulu.
lived 1,000 years without hearing Will Rice say "ooh" out loud in front of me.
No, the first "you" sounds different than the last "you."
You-woo.
It's "you." I'm 31 and I don't know what it
hated
means.
every second of that.
Anything. It's just you're giving
So
it exactly the
much.
meaning it needs.
Do it again.
No.
One more time.
No.
This
not
is
your
what
jukebox,
Drew's child is
Drew.
going to be.
You
I've
want
got a
to
whole
do
bubble
it.
list from we do.
Maybe we
a
should
Hulu
see
anime
if-
Kid.
Snap wants to hear that at work tomorrow.
Stop
I'll
it.
fucking say
Stop
to his
it.
face. I give shit less. That's not the worst thing. Snap
I'll
ever
ooh
said.
right in front of that
I'll
guy. I don't
ooh
care.
all over
Y'all
him
need to
for all I
stop
care.
because you're approaching bullying, and I need it to
Bullying
cease.
who?
I don't know, but I can feel it.
We're bullying the character that Will just made up when he said "ooh" earlier.
I just searched for. Nope, never mind. So I searched "uwu" and the first thing that pops up.